Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report Uncut. Now, I think this next category has been severely overlooked due to the fact that the U.S. is a service-based economy, and things are grinding to a halt on the street. For the most part, they're trying to wash it all over, make everyone believe that things are doing better than they actually are. But the truth is, we are having some real big economic troubles. So we need to look at what's happening with the services PMI. Manufacturing has actually been a lot less important in the United States economy for quite some time. But what is very important would be the service sector, because everything in the U.S. is about services. Many different genres, it's the only thing they sell is services anymore. So let's dig into this ugly data that just came out for August. One stunning fact that has been recently neglected is the U.S. services sector. It collapsed in August. The U.S. composite was weaker than Europe's. Following the brutality of the Eurozone PMIs, August flash U.S. PMI was predicted to be mixed, with services rising and manufacturing faltering. They were only half right. The U.S. Services PMI fell from 47.3 to 44.1 in early August, well below the expected jump to 49.8, a number of 50 denotes expansion, and the manufacturing in the United States also declined more than predicted. It dropped from 52.2 to 51.3%, below the 51.8% expectations. Services, they've reached their lowest level since May 2020, while manufacturing, it reached the lowest level since July 2020. The S&P Global Flash U.S. Manufacturing PMI was 51.3 in August, down from 52.2 in July, indicating weak operating conditions throughout the manufacturing sector. The headline reading, it plummeted to its lowest level in over 2 years, owing to a weak demand and production cuts. The Composite PMI for the United States is the lowest of any worldwide. And we also see the senior economist at S&P Global Manufacturing Intelligence, they commented on the Flash PMI data saying, quote, "The August Flash PMI report showed further troubling indicators for the strength of the U.S. private sector. The effect of interest rates rising and severe inflationary pressures on consumer spending, it weakened demand conditions once again, weighing on activity, and the clouds began gathering over the private sector as new orders for services reverted to contractionary territory. This matched the depressed demand conditions witnessed in manufacturing, and the drop in overall production was the biggest witnessed since the series started almost 13 years ago, excluding the period between March and May 2020. The lower new order inflows and the ongoing attempts to curb down expenditure resulted in the smallest increase in employment in a year. Reports of difficulty in finding qualified applicants began to be disputed by employers, emphasizing that voluntary departures would not be replaced immediately owing to uncertainties about demand in the future months. The input and output prices increased at the slowest rates in a year and a half, despite claims that several important component costs had reduced and despite indicating a continual shift away from those price peaks. The growth in prices and levies, they remain historically substantial. Simultaneously, delivery times increased at the slowest rate since October 2020, still significant, enabling more enterprises to work through backlogs, and finally, they're beginning to believe that the recent rally in equities, in which cyclicals outperform defensives, has been quite overdone due to the reality of what's happening on the ground. I thank you guys for stopping by and joining us. As always, stay free.